Hello friends, I'm the part-time bartender, and tonight we're making a Mr. Swizzle cocktail. It's made with rum, it's made with Velvet Falernun, it's made with Mr. Black liqueur. It's a great combo, it's got a great story, and I can't wait to share it with you. This is the channel where we combine the best of the home bar and the pro bar to make easy cocktails at home. So the Mr. Swizzle cocktail. It's a swizzle cocktail, which is a fascinating thing. I thought it was just a funny word, like they call some cocktails swizzles, but it's a whole class of cocktail. It's named after the Mr. Black coffee liqueur, which is in it, but it's also obviously named after the swizzle. So what's a swizzle? It's that thing that sometimes, people stick in their drinks, but it's actually a tool and actually has an interesting history to it.
The swizzle was used in
Barbados, Jamaica, those places. And when they wanted to make batter for fritters and for fried fish and chicken and that sort of thing, they would use a tool called the swizzle. And you can see here, it's got those prongs on it, so it's easy. If you spin it, it mixes your batter. This is obviously before electricity, so that's how you mixed it. And then they used it for cocktails, and there's a whole swizzle class of cocktails, including the Mr. Swizzle here. So that's really interesting. But one of the key ingredients in the cocktail is the Velvet Falernun, which has a great story behind it. It has such a funny name, Velvet Falernun. And so what is Falernun? Well, for starters, Falernun is a very old name for wine. It's a Roman wine. The term was first appeared in literature in the 1st century BCE. I mean, it's a very long, old wine. It's a white wine. And so it has that name associated with alcohol. Falernum is associated with an alcohol, with a specific wine. It's no longer made now. It was made near Mount Falernus, and no one even quite knows where this mountain is. Obviously in Italy somewhere, because it's associated with the Roman Empire, but it's a very old term. And then the other thing is, there was an article in the New York Times, maybe in the 1980s, where they were interviewing people, the Mount Gay rum people. And somewhere in that article, they refer to a Falernum as a local mix that's an almond base, but it also has clove in it and lime zest in it, and all of this stuff to give it some local sort of Caribbean spiciness to it. So when people would ask for the recipe, the local people would just say, ha Falernum, which was a way of saying,
you have to learn them, meaning the recipes. In the local accent,
if you slur it out, it kind of sounds like Falernum. The theory goes, the term Falernum came to the island. Maybe it's some kind of combination of both of those legends, but who knows? But that's where this cocktail comes from. Anyways, this is a wonderful mix of kind of bitter and sweet and cold, all mixed together. So let's get mixing.
And before we do that, take a moment to be a friend of the channel and like and subscribe below.
Okay, so the recipe calls for El Dorado rum. In particular, it's El Dorado or any Guyanese style rum. A little bitter and it's a little burnt, and so it adds an element to the cocktail which kind of plays against the Falernum, which is sweet, and against the Mr. Black. And so I'm using 1.5 ounces of the El Dorado rum. Then it's 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. It's 3/4 ounce of the Mr. Black. And of course the Mr. Black, which is a liqueur made of cold pressed coffee. It's from Australia. And then it's 1 ounce of the Velvet Falernun. And so to this, you're going to add crushed ice. I crushed my own ice in a bag. Obviously, you might be a little more careful with how you dole this out. And then just one last bit of ice. And so you then use I'm using a spoon rather than a formal swizzle stick, but you mix it here. And the idea is you want to get the side of the glass frosted. You don't just stir it. You swizzle it like this. And so it's been mixed. And so what it is a nice kind of bitter, it's got bitter, it's got cold, it's got sweet. It kind of plays against each other, and it's really a nice cocktail. The beauty of it is the ice melts and the whole drink kind of melds and slowly kind of comes together as you drink it. But you got that nice tart and mixed with the coffee flavor, mixed with the rum and the lemon juice. I really love this cocktail. It's really delicious. Boy, so next week we're going to travel to New Orleans and make one of my favorite classic New Orleans cocktails. And I'm also giving you a list here of my other refreshing summer cocktails. So remember, when you make these cocktails, share them with your friends. Invite everybody over and have a little party. It's a great time.